Okay, so hi everyone. Welcome back from your summer break. Hope that you're all doing well out there, and I hope you feel ready for the start of the fall semester. So I'll introduce myself real quick for those of you who haven't met me before. My name's Dan Carson, and I'm going to be your physics instructor for this semester. So the purpose of this video is to make sure that everyone is oriented and understands the mechanics of the course. Okay, so given that the course is fully online, it's really important to know how things are going to work on a day-to-day basis. I know that for many of you, taking an online course may be completely new. You may have never taken an online course before. And to be honest, teaching online is a little bit new for me. I didn't expect to be teaching online this semester, but these are the circumstances we're in, so let's try to make the best of it. The next thing that I'm going to cover in this video is some of the course policies. So I sent out an email to everybody with a copy of the syllabus, and so I hope that you've all read the syllabus in its entirety, but there are a few things in there that I want to highlight and sort of reiterate in this video. And then the last thing we'll discuss in this video is the Canvas website. So I'd like to give everyone a tour of the Canvas website so you know how it's structured, you know how it's laid out, and you know where to find everything. This is going to be really, really important because almost all important business in this class is going to be conducted through Canvas. So it's really important that you understand how the Canvas website is laid out. That's why I'm going to give you sort of a virtual tour of it. All right, so before I show you a tour of the Canvas website, what I'd like to do is talk about my philosophy behind the way I'm structuring the course. So this course is going to be asynchronous. And what that means is there's no set time when we all meet for class. So my thinking behind making the course asynchronous is that I know that right now, life may be pretty hectic and unpredictable and chaotic for many of you because we're juggling things like work and family obligations on top of school. And it makes it difficult to carve out, a specific time each week when you meet for class, okay? So I know that's a problem for many students right now. So for that reason, I want to give students a little bit more flexibility. And the way I'm going to do that is to pre-record my lecture videos and then make those available for you to view on Canvas, okay? And you can watch them on your own time. There's no set time to do that. But of course, each week, you will have a certain set of videos that you need to watch in order to be up to speed on what's going on in the class. So I do realize there's a downside to the way I'm doing things. In a live lecture, face-to-face, or even over Zoom, you would be able to ask questions. You'd be able to raise your hand, maybe ask me to clarify something. Okay, and of course, that's not something you'll be able to do in a video format. So for that reason, I really want you to take advantage of office hours. So I have made myself available to students for 5 hours each week, and I've polled the class to make sure that my office hours are at good times. They're at times when you can actually show up. So my suggestion is watch the videos, try to absorb that content. If you have a question, write it down and bring it to office hours. That's the time that's reserved for the interaction with your instructor, okay, when you can actually ask questions and get things clarified in real time. Another option for you is to use the message boards. Okay, so each week I'm going to open up a message board on Canvas, and you can post any kind of question you want on there. I'll be there to answer it, and even your classmates might chime in and try to answer your question also. Okay, so even though we're asynchronous, we still have this instructor-student interaction, and that's the best way I could think to structure the course. Okay, so let's take a look at the Physics 45 Canvas page. So this is the home page. This is what you'll see if you log into your Canvas account and then click on Physics 45. So there are a few things here that I want to point out. The first is at the bottom of the page, there's a weekly schedule for the semester. So each week of class, I'm going to update the schedule so that you know ahead of time what's going to be happening. Right now, it's just filled out for the first week of class, but again, I'll update this as we go on in the class. And basically, it explains what we'll be doing in the lectures, what we'll be doing in the labs, and also any kind of assignments that you need to be working on. Okay, so that's going to be the schedule. Also, you're going to find my contact information. My email is given on the homepage. Information about office hours is also going to be given on the homepage. Right now, it says TBA because I'm still working out what times are going to be best for you guys to hold office hours. So once I finalize those times, I'm going to post those on the homepage, and so you'll see those there. Also, I'm going to put information about how to actually log into Zoom to get into the office hours right under that same section. Okay, another thing that you'll find on the homepage is a copy of the syllabus. So at the very top of the page where it says click here for the current course syllabus, there's a little arrow. And if you click that downward facing arrow and then click preview, you'll open up a copy of the syllabus. Okay, and so while we're here, let's just go through some of the things in the syllabus that I'd like to highlight. So the first is there is a required text. And that text is Physics for Scientists and Engineers with Modern Physics, 4th edition by Giancoli. I know many of you already have this text because you've taken Physics 44, but if you don't have this, please get it as soon as possible because a lot of the homework problems will come from the textbook and a lot of relevant reading assignments will come from the textbook as well. I'd also like to point out that there's some other supplies that you should have this semester. The first one is a notebook. So even though the lectures are going to be delivered in pre-recorded videos, it's still important to take notes as you watch the lecture videos, just like you would in a face-to-face class. And the reason for that is you'll simply absorb the information a lot better if you're actively taking notes rather than just sort of passively watching a video. Another thing you're going to need is a calculator. I don't really care what type of calculator you have, as long as it gets the job done, because you'll need this for doing problems. Also, you're going to need access to a computer with a solid internet connection. So make sure you have that. If you don't, keep in mind that Chaffey College loans out laptops to students who are in need. So visit the Chaffey website for information about that if that's something that interests you. And then lastly, you do need access to some type of camera or scanner. So this could be just the camera on your phone or the phone of someone who lives in your house, but you do need to be able to take pictures or scan your work. Okay, and the thinking behind this is in physics, it's not just important to come up with an answer. Okay, it's also important to show that you understand the steps that need to be taken in order to arrive at an answer. And some of the problems that we do in this class are going to be fairly complicated. So when you do work, it's absolutely essential that you show all the steps you took. Okay, so basically the idea is you'll do your written work, you'll scan it or take pictures of it, and then upload that to Canvas. Okay, so alternatively, if you have a tablet or some sort of smart device, you can do your work there and then just directly upload your work to Canvas. But you do need some way of doing that. So I just want to give you a heads up ahead of time. Okay, what else? So we have supplies. Okay, grade breakdown. So the way I calculate the final grade is based on what's shown here. 15% of your grade is going to be homework, but I do drop the lowest homework score. Okay, 20% of your grade is going to be labs, but I also drop the lowest lab score. We're going to have 3 tests throughout the semester. Each one is 15% of your grade, so the total is 45% for those 3 tests. And then there's going to be a final exam worth 20% of your grade. So as far as how I'm going to assign letter grades, I'm going to use that standard 90, 80, 70, 60 grading scale to assign letter grades. And then there will also be plus and minus grades. What else? Okay, how about this? Dropped scores, okay? So I understand that these are uncertain times and a lot of things might come up that cause you to miss a deadline. So I do want to accommodate you. So I have a policy which is to drop your lowest homework and lab score from the record, okay? So that'll just give you some leeway to miss one homework and one lab throughout the semester, okay? Also, I will be accepting late work up to a week after the deadline, okay? So each day that passes after a deadline for an assignment, 15% is going to be taken off. And then after a week passes, I won't be accepting late work. So that's my policy as far as late work and dropped scores go. What else? So I'll just scroll down here. Oh, tests and the final exam. This is what I wanted to talk about. So the way tests are going to work is on the day of a test or an exam, I'm going to give you 24 hours to complete the exam and upload your solution to Canvas, okay? So again, you can work on this on your own time, but you'll have a 24-hour window to work on it, solve all the problems, and then upload that solution to Canvas. That's how it's going to work. And to give you some tentative dates for when we'll have tests, the dates are shown right here. So test 1 tentatively is going to be on September 22nd, and it's going to cover chapters 7 through 9 of the textbook. The second test is going to cover chapters 10 through 12. Tentatively, that's going to be on October 20th. Test number 3 is going to cover chapters 13, 14, and 17, and that's going to be on November 24th. Okay, so these dates might change depending on how things go, but that's my best estimate as to when things will be happening. And again, you'll see here what chapters are covered. So if you're curious about what chapters are going to be covered ahead of time, just look here on the syllabus. And then of course we have a final exam, which will be comprehensive. So everything will be covered. And tentatively that's going to be on Tuesday, December 15th. Okay, so just expect to have tests on those days. Okay, so I think that's all I wanted to say about the syllabus. And that's everything I wanted to say about the homepage. So I do want to point out some other things that are on the Canvas site. If you click on this announcements tab on the left side of the page, it will take you to announcements. So occasionally I'll post announcements here. Usually this will be to remind you about an upcoming test or due date. So keep your eye out on this announcements tab for anything that comes up. There's also a discussion tab. So if you click on the left side of the page under discussions, you'll see some discussion boards. So basically the way this will work is every week of class, I'm going to open a new discussion board. So here I'm going to click on week 1 questions. Week 1 questions. And basically this is a place where you can post any question you have about the lectures from the first week or the homework assignments from the first week or anything else that really comes to mind. Okay, and then I'll be watching the discussion board and answering your questions. And feel free if you feel like you know the answer to a question that a student posts, you can jump in and answer that question too. And then there's another discussion board called Introducing Ourselves. And I'd like us all to post in here just a little bit about yourself so we can all get to know each other. Okay. The next thing I'd like to point out is the Files tab. So on the left side of the page, again, there's a little tab that says Files. All the important course documents are going to be found here. Okay, so we have some folders. The first one I want to point out is Homework Solutions. So a week after homeworks are due and they can't be turned in anymore, I post a solution to every homework assignment. So the idea behind this is if you did a homework assignment and there were some problems that you didn't quite understand or couldn't quite work out, you're going to be able to find the solution here in that folder. Okay, there's also a labs folder for all the lab content. There's a lectures folder where I post my own lecture slides. And you can also find the syllabus in its own separate folder here. Okay, so basically all the different course documents can be found under Files. Just take a look at that and go through it so you understand where everything is. Okay, last thing I'm gonna, there's one other thing. Grades. Yes, your grades, I'm gonna try to be really up to date and grade things as quickly as possible. And whenever you go to the grades tab, you'll see your running total for the semester. You'll know exactly what your percentage is at any given time, so you know where you stand in the class if you go to grades. All right, so the last feature of the website that I'm going to show you is probably the most important, okay? And that's the modules. So if you click on the left side of the page where it says modules, right here, you're going to be brought to this page. So right now, you only see a single module here. It's the one labeled week 1. But each week of class, I'm going to open a new module, okay? So everything you need to know for a given week of class is going to be contained in the module. It's all here. It's all very self-contained. So let's take a look at the week 1 module so we can kind of see what's here. And the modules for other weeks are going to look really similar. So after you see a few weeks of class, you'll get very familiar with this. But let's click on the first page in the module, which says week 1 to-do list. Okay, so the module for every single week of class is going to have a to-do list, and it's exactly what it sounds like. It's just a list of tasks that you need to finish for each week of class, okay? So I'm not going to read this out to you. You can read this on your own time, but just know that there's a to-do list here so you can sort of organize your tasks and you know what needs to be done each week, okay? So if we click next, this is an assignment. This is not a required assignment. This is an optional extra credit assignment, but I highly recommend doing this. Basically what this is some practice submitting an assignment online. So here's how it works. I want you to write anything at all, doesn't matter what, just any kind of writing or drawing on 2 pieces of paper. I want you to take a photo or scan those 2 pieces of paper, merge them into a single file, and then upload that to Canvas, okay? And the reason for this is we can get any kind of technical problems worked out ahead of time, right? You don't want to have technical problems uploading your work when it's a homework due date or worse yet, a test, right? We just want to get the technical problems worked out at the beginning, which is why I have you do this practice assignment. So it sounds pretty simple, right? Just draw anything or write anything on 2 pieces of paper, photograph those papers, and then upload that to Canvas. You'll get 5 extra credit points if you do this. Okay, so I highly recommend doing this. Okay, next. We have the lecture videos for week 1. So each week, there's going to be a page just like this in the module, which tells you what the lecture videos are. And if you hit the play button, I'll do this right here. Yeah, if you hit the play button on any one of these lecture videos, you can watch the video inside of the module, but you can also, if you click the link, open it up in a new page. So it's up to you what you decide to do. There's a way to watch the videos in the module. Okay, let's go to the next thing. So this is the first homework assignment, and this is not optional, this is required. And the explanation for the assignment is given right here. I also have a rubric for the assignment, so you know exactly how many points each problem in the assignment is worth. And in this page here, you can upload your solution once you finish the assignment. So instructions for how to do that are given here. I just want you to know that the assignments are in the modules. Okay, let's go to the next thing. There's a lab assignment. Okay, so it's kind of the same as the homework assignment. There are instructions for what to do and for how to upload your solution. And there's also a rubric so you know how much each part of the lab is worth in terms of points. That's shown here. And then we'll go to the next thing. Discussion boards. Okay, so as I pointed out before, we have discussion boards. One of the discussion boards here is just an introduction sort of thing. So I encourage you to post here just to say a little bit about yourself and introduce yourself to your classmates. And if we go to the next thing, we have week 1 questions. So basically anything that came up during the first week of class, whether it's just sort of a technical issue you're having or if it's about the physics content, you can ask a question here. I'm going to be keeping track of the board and answering questions. And then, of course, your fellow classmates can come in and answer questions too. Okay, I encourage all kinds of discussion to happen on this board. Okay, so that was kind of a lot, admittedly, but I've shown you all the different parts of this website, and it's really, really important that you get familiar with the structure of this website because, again, this is where all the business is going to be conducted. All right? I tried to design it in a way so everything is very self-contained, so you don't need to go to a million different places to get the material. It's all here in Canvas. And hopefully now you have some sense of the way things are structured. But what I encourage you to do is just to go on Canvas and just explore the website. Just look around so you can get really familiar with where things are. So with that said, that does it for this introductory video. I'm really looking forward to this semester and getting to know you all. So until the next time I see you, take care. Have a good one.